Oh, I'm so stupid. Thank you. Thanks, Nahi. Hi. My rust already showing. My streamer washed. Anyway, hi, it's Twi. Hope you guys are doing good for real this time. Happy Wednesday, happy Canada Day to all my fellow Canadians. Hey, yeah, I was just saying, you know, I've been really busy, really busy week, but finally things are back to normal for me. No more outsiding. I've touched too much grass. Grass allergy. Get me home. Get me inside. Yo, I could go out and look at the fireworks today for Canada Day. I won't be doing that. I've had my fill of outside and then some. I will enjoy if I can see any fireworks outside of my window. And that'll be good enough for me. Look, we got some fireworks right here. Check this out. Check this out. Pretty cool, right? Unfortunately, I think I did this last year too, but my hair is so long, you like can't really see them. So maybe I'll like, maybe I can adjust the room so that I'm still like middle-ish. But the fireworks in the window. Oh, but then your immersion, the room behind the room. Okay, it's fine. Check me out. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, better crop. Now we can see the fireworks. Yippee! And just figuring things out on the fly as we do on Twi channel. I hope you guys have been good. I have like a billion things that have been going on as I've been just out and about this week to talk about. I have so many things. I feel like it was just a bunch of individually interesting things that needed to be done for a day, back to back for like a week. So I got a lot of stories to talk about today. You know, I was thinking about doing something more inherently Canadian for Canada Day, but what's more Canadian than Twi Telescopium? I'm like so Canadian. I'm the resident Canadian friend, I feel like, in all of my friend groups. So you know what? We'll just talk about me. Little water. But yeah, this week full of stuff for me started with finally getting to do my ADHD assessment for the second time. For anybody who doesn't know, I was supposed to get diagnosed with ADHD like about 2 years ago. You know, I had the assessment. You know, they ran me through a pretty thorough questionnaire, and then by the end of the session, you know, I'm talking with the professional, and they're like, "Yeah, you're like definitely ADHD." It was kind of like a done deal, you know, shake on it kind of thing. And then they kept not faxing it to my doctor for a couple months. And then I found out that they left the country. They left Canada, man. So unfortunately, it just kind of got like thrown out. I never got my diagnosis for that. So for everybody who thinks that free healthcare in Canada is amazing, you're not wrong. But also, just because it's free doesn't mean it always works. And so I was really lucky with that appointment too. It was a shame that it got thrown away because I got like a cancellation appointment. Normally you'd have to wait for like probably a year. That's like the experience everywhere with Canada, is like you can get a lot of things covered by the government, but the wait lists are like ridiculously long. And if you don't have like forever to wait for whatever you need, you have to pay for it privately anyway. But, you know, you guys know me. I'm stingy. I hate paying for things. So I ended up looking into more ways that I could try and still get it done after that. I think maybe in the most ADHD outcome possible, after my like application got thrown away because the doctor left the country, I just like forgot. I was given a number by my doctor for like somebody else that I could, like another clinic I could reach out to about it. I just forgot for like a year. And at some point in that year, I also lost the number. And then I spent like another year being like, well, it's not that important. I'd be really embarrassed to like ask my doctor for the number again. And so I just didn't ask them for like another full year, like 2 years passed. And then I was just like, oh yeah, I should probably get diagnosed for this actually. So I got another list for that. I finally got to do the assessment this week. It went pretty well. Funnily enough, I think coming out of it, it was like probably ADHD for me is their opinion. I'm pretty sure that I have ADHD, but I mean, you have to, technically I don't have the diagnosis yet, right? It's a work in progress. But they were like, yeah, we want more stuff for ADHD, but like definitely autism. Like if anything is screaming at me right now, they literally said if anything is screaming at me out of this assessment, it's autism. Despite it not even being an autism screening, which I thought was really, really funny. And not wrong for what it's worth. Also not wrong, but I did think it was really, really funny. But anyway, it's been really convoluted trying to figure out the diagnosis process. Mostly because they want, to get diagnosed for ADHD, they want my elementary school report cards as a way to sort of verify that I'm not just like lying about my symptoms, I guess. Which to me is crazy because like obviously I have ADHD. But also, like, I don't know, I'll talk about it more in detail later, but I had a middle school reunion this week. And I met somebody as I was talking about this who was like, oh yeah, I lied about having ADHD so that I could get meds for my exams. And I was like, it's you! You're the reason that I am going through so much turmoil. No, not actually, but like... It was funny. I was like, people really do this? And then I met somebody. It's like, yeah, people really do this. Hi, Nira. Happy Canada Day. It's okay. Every Twilight is an honorary Canadian in my heart. Hi, Sunfish. Happy Canada Day. It's okay. Whole house Canadian. You guys seen the whole house Canadian meme? Whole house Canadian. All my Twilights are Canadians in spirit. Welcome, welcome. I was just talking about how I'm trying to get diagnosed for ADHD. I was like outside a lot this week. I have a lot of outdoor stories from Twi, like an exceptional amount. You're not gonna get this many like stories from me going outside for a long time. But this week I started getting my ADHD diagnosis, and they're really trying to get my elementary school report cards so they can like verify my symptoms from when I was a kid. But the problem is that like I was really good in school. Like my teachers never wrote anything about me. I was just like really like quiet and nice and like quietly distracted. You know what I mean? Like I was very distractible, but just like to myself. I was like in my own world. And then if they called on me, I would just like lock in and solve whatever and then go back to like being quiet. I was very much like a teacher's pet kind of kid. So nothing really came of it, I feel. But yeah, you know, I said I would mention it more later, but during the middle school reunion thing, I actually asked my my teacher who was there about it, and they were like, I have the comment, but like it won't help you because I didn't write anything about that. I just thought you were really amazing, and I called you amazing in a bunch of ways, and I was like, oh, that's so sweet, but also shit. Like, I did not help my case, but it was really wholesome. But yeah, it was really good. So I'm still in the process of trying to get the ADHD diagnosis 2 years after I was supposed to have it. We're working on it. That's a work in progress. But that was part of what I was out doing last week. That was Tuesday. There's like a bunch more stories than this, and that's like the simplest one also. So also part of the reason why I wasn't streaming like at all last week, I mentioned briefly at the end of my like Minecraft stream, but I was like, my high school friends are back in town, and very briefly, like one of them has been kind of like living out in a small town in like a different province for a few years. So we always link up whenever he comes back to Toronto, right? but he's about to go back off to another like adjacent small town and start his residency. So he's gonna be busy. I'm like really proud of my friends, dude. They're like so smart for real. But he's off doing his residency now. So I was trying to be really available to hang out with them over the week. Because my other high school friend who still lives here is about to not live here. He's about to go across the country to go do his master's and then maybe stay on the West Coast. So I was like, oh, this is like the last time that I get to hang out with my high school boys as a unit for real. Let me just be like as available as possible. So I have a couple days out with them. But the initial hangout that we had together was really fun. I went rock climbing for the second time in my life. I've only ever been once before, and it was a few years ago with the same friends. So rock climbing was really cool. I remember when we got there, you have to like rent the shoes for doing that if you don't like own rock climbing shoes. Like a lot of sport things nowadays, you gotta spend $1 trillion for equipment. But I was like, oh my god, these shoes are Velcro. That's so sick. Because okay, between you and me, guys, between you and me, I don't know how to tie my shoelaces. I've tried to learn for so many years. I can't wrap my brain around doing a loop. I don't know what it is. I can't tie a loop. I'm like so incapable. I've tried so many different ways. I've tried like different people teaching me. I can't figure out how to do a loop. It's really embarrassing, but I don't know how to tie my shoes. So seeing that the equipment shoes were Velcro, I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. Like I wish that more adult shoes were Velcro for real. Really? Oh my god, I'm so vindicated. Thank you. Yeah, normally I'll just like I've had times where I'll get different laces that can like basically make your shoes into slip-ons, or what I'll do is like get somebody else to tie my shoes and then I'll like get them to tie it loose enough that I can just use my shoes as slip-ons anyway. But the knot is also a valid angle. Like if I need to fix it, I'll either do a knot and or just like stuff the shoelaces down the bottom of my shoe. But yeah, anyway, aside from not being able to tie my shoes, shakes your hand on that, thank you. I was really hyped about the Velcro shoes until I was done rock climbing because my fingers got all torn up from the rock climbing, right? And I was like, oh, my hands are like really tender, but okay. And then I had to undo the Velcro with my fingertips being all shredded from the rock climbing. And it was like, oh my god, bro. It was so painful. My fingers were like so tender from going rock climbing. It was really funny. It was also really funny because on the day of, I was like, my arms really bodied it. Like my upper body was super fine, even though I hadn't worked out in like half a year. But my fingers were shredded up, which I totally forgot what happened. It's kind of like the same thing as when you play volleyball for the first time in ages and your forearms get bruised like crazy. I feel like rock climbing, that happening to your fingers is like kind of the same sort of vibe. But funnily enough, the next day, my fingers were fine. My arms cooked. My arms were so fine the day of. I was like, wow, nothing happened to my arms. I'm so normal. And then... and then, as it turned out, my arms were not good. The day after rock climbing, I kid you not, I was brushing my teeth and I couldn't hold my toothbrush up. I dropped it. I had to catch my toothbrush in midair. And then I had to use 2 arms to brush my teeth. I was 2-arming my toothbrush. So, my arms were a bit cooked. I'm back to being fine now, obviously. There's only a couple days where they were really tired. But it was really funny. Even when I was actively like trying to get into like lifting weight more, I've never had my arms be so totaled. But the rock climbing was really fun. I actually managed to do almost every climb that I tried, which I was really proud of. They were like pretty easy climbs too. They were pretty beginner, but not like absolute beginner, you know. They weren't all like V0 climbs or whatever. There were a couple that were like 1 or maybe even like a 2, I don't remember. Well, they weren't all like labeled as like V0, 1 through 10, whatever. they just had like 45 different climbs that you could do, I think, and it was like labeled from like the easiest one to the hardest one, and I think I did like the 5 or 6 easiest ones, which I was pretty proud of. So, you know, rock climbing went pretty well, actually. Pretty proud of myself. It was very fun. Hi, Sev. Happy birthday. Thank you. It is. Happy Canada Day to you as well. Hope you're doing well. I've been like out and about for like all of last week, so I'm sharing a bunch of my anecdotes from the most outsideful Twi that you will ever see. Yeah, rock climbing was really fun. I would love to go rock climbing more often, but the problem is that it costs way too much money. It's really expensive, dude. I was like, I'm gonna do anything to hang out with my friends on that week because, you know, they're about to both move and be like really far away. You know, I don't think I'll ever get to hang out with my high school friends as a unit again, or like if we do, it'll be years and years. So I was like, yeah, I'll ball out a little bit. But still, you know, like going to rock climbing and it's like $40, like, oh, my wallet, ow. Like, but if I had an option that was like not too unreasonable to get to and it didn't cost like $40, I would probably rock climb. If I was employed, I think, if I was employed again, rock climbing would be way more feasible of an angle because you could get like a monthly membership at a lot of places. And then it's like expensive, but like normal person expensive, not like $40 a day expensive. Well, that's only if you're, well, they know that like they can charge you a bunch extra if you're not gonna like go regularly. I think the membership for like an entire month was like only 120 or something. So like if you go for more than 3 days, you can like massively save. As like a regular workout opportunity. But if you're only going for 1 day and you gotta like rent the shoes and whatnot, like you don't have your own equipment, then it gets pretty expensive. Yeah, that's how a lot of sports stuff is nowadays. Also, Canadian dollars, I should mention, it's Canada Day. You can't slight me for using Canadian dollars. So realistically more like 30-ish USD. But yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of sport things nowadays, like if you gotta rent equipment and you're just paying to go one time, you don't have like a membership for these places, easily they'll charge you that much. It's really painful. It sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. It was indoors. It was like an indoor climbing gym, Sev. I've never gone rock climbing outside on like random rocks. That sounds really scary. That sounds really scary. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I already have a fear of heights, like just normally. So even doing it in the climbing gym is like kind of scary. Like real rocks, I think I might die. Also, I saw your tweet about Big Way. I actually don't even know what Big Way Hot Pot is. I'm fake. I've never been to Hot Pot. I'm sorry. Is this like the move? If I want to try Hot Pot, do I go to Big Way? Is this the move? I see they got a few locations. Man. I got like some food stories from this week, but not like a ton. I'll talk more about food stuff later also. But yeah, that was really fun. After that, we just went for a drive. It was really funny. I was in the front seat of my friend's car after we were like leaving rock climbing. And my other friend in the back seat takes a picture of us, and it's like really dark, and I didn't even know, so like we're just looking forward at the road, right? And because of my long hair, he was like, yo, it looks like you got a baddie in the passenger seat, bro. And then he told me later that he showed the picture to his girlfriend and she got mad. They're like, why are you hanging out with a girl? I don't know, man. My girl boss power. I'm just my charm. I'm so effeminate. me and my luscious locks. But it was very funny. Oh my god, on that car ride also, Dude, it was so funny. I was like hanging out with so many normal people compared to what I've been used to. So like the amount of like really terminally online or like friend group specific like lingo that I was just using with regular people and not realizing was really funny. Like earlier today on stream when you talked about the shoelaces, I was like, shakes your hand. I said shakes your hand to a real person that I was close enough to just handshake. Which is really funny. Or like, I think the funniest one that I was thinking about was I wrote a poem for Mint. After the Minecraft stream, I wrote a poem for Mint. And I was telling them about like how I did that because I thought it was cute. And they were like, did it work? And I was like, yeah, he exploded. As it adjusted like me saying he exploded as like he got really flustered or whatever, right? But they took it differently. They were like, whoa. And I was getting clowned and they started like making it a joke of me exploding dudes. My lingo, I just think it's funny to blow things up, man. But actually, I never shared the Mint poem in here, but I mean, a lot of my friends have read it, and also Sev read it on stream. Shout out Sev, thank you. So I might as well share it here as well. Hey. I guess I might as well share my Mint poem as well because this poem is fire. It's so yaoi-ful. I remember I sent this poem to Sev and she was like, wow, the yaoi writes itself. I've never seen that happen before. Dude, I thought that was so funny. That's like one of the funniest messages I think I've ever received in my entire life. No, it's true. It's 100% true. But I think it is one of the funniest things that anybody has ever written. But anyway, my yaoi poem. Let me get a dramatic reading here. Let me turn off the music. Let me get some reverb. Hey. Oh yeah, dude. Okay, I also on that car ride, I don't know if I used yaoi-ful. I do say yaoi-ful and like yuri-ful. I love using full. I love taking nouns and adding full to turn them into adjectives. Amazing like stem. I love doing it. Really useful. But anyway, I also when I showed them or like when I told them about the poem thing, I was like, oh yeah, I was just yaoi farming. And they were like, and my friend who doesn't watch anime was like, you're gonna have to explain that one. And I was like, that's a good point. Like, look, this is not to say I don't love Mint, okay? I love Mint so much with all of my heart. But I was like, you know, like queer baiting. And the worst part is he still didn't know what I meant by queer baiting either. So that was really, really funny. Anyway, okay, let me read this poem. Mint. A familiar packaging plagues my mind, yet it seems with every taste, I can't get your name out of my mouth. Can you guys hear the car out the window? Yo, that's loud. Sorry. A tablet full of remedy, with a candy-like sweetness. It's a lot more refreshing without the bitter aftertaste. Maybe you aren't my flavor, or... I can't read my own poem, bro. Maybe you aren't my favorite flavor, nor am I yours, but I do find myself oddly excited at every opportunity for your sensation. A palate cleanser from everything foul, a cool breeze taking my wind, a feeling I can't quite articulate lingers on the tip of my tongue. Not every handout requires a thank you, but a breath of fresh air amidst an ocean of smog is something plenty thankful to me. Yay! My yaoi-fultastic poem for Mint. But anyway, it was very funny having to explain to the boys the concept of yaoi farming, cultivating my yaoi with the boys. And to be fair, I guess Pride Month may be over now, but it's never too late to talk about it. I was thinking about it. I think that I am, first and foremost, definitely an aro ace person. Aromantic. Sorry, this got held and I just felt the need to pass it down. Reading Queerbait one day after Pride. Literally, I did not think about it like that. But look, okay, what I was going to say is I'm aro ace first, aromantic, asexual, but I think in terms of my lean within the spectrum of being aromantic, I actually might be panromantic. I'm not gonna lie. I think that gender maybe doesn't matter for like romantic attraction for me. I think that men are maybe doable. Which kind of makes sense. There was like a time in the past where I low-key had a guy where I was like, yo, if we were gay, we would be like such an item for real. Which I feel like was maybe more telling in hindsight than I realized. I still think that I don't know if I can be like attracted to men in every way, but I think that romantically men are also pretty cool. Shout out the boys. Shout out the boys. I love the boys and the gals and the everything else. My they thems, my it's, my whatever you want to be called. I love everybody. My heart is blind. Or all seeing. I don't know. I love you get what I mean. Okay. Anyway, it was very funny explaining the concept of yaoi farming to my completely normal friends. But that was day one with the high school boys. I really wanted to hang out with them like 3 times last week. I only got 2. They're like I'll call it 2.5. I'll put an asterisk, but really it was only twice, which made me kind of sad. I wish that we got to hang a little bit more before they're off, but I did have a very legendary hangout with the boys on Thursday. So basically, my high school friends got invited to a like group outing with a bunch of people from our grade. Not like a bunch, but like a table. It ended up being 8 of us, where we would go out to a pub and drink. And the sort of interesting nuance of me getting invited to this is that I was only in the same grade as my high school friends for 1 year. So I fell behind a grade in grade 10 due to some like life circumstances. And so most of these people that we went with, I've interacted with like once or twice in my life. Like I barely knew them. There were a couple people I've never spoken to before. It was very scary for me to sort of have like a reunion moment with these high school people that I barely knew, especially when you consider that like this is around the time that everybody finished their bachelor's this year in my grade, and I not to say I'm not proud of what I'm doing as Twi, but it's certainly harder to tell to other people because I don't want to tell everybody that I'm a VTuber. And I haven't been doing music and audio work for that long, right? Only the 2 years that I started as Twi is when I started mixing and whatnot. So I usually go with like, oh yeah, I'm trying to get into freelance audio engineering, and I'll like talk about that a little bit. But you know, I'm still like really new to that and like not formally educated either, right? So there's a limit to how much I can share. And man, when I tell you guys, this is one of the most like educated tables I've ever sat at in my entire life. Oh my god, like I felt so uneducated at this table. It was crazy. Like I'm trying to think back to what everybody was doing. So one person has a degree in urban planning and they're going into a master's for architecture. One person is doing radiology. One person is doing like neuroscience and like working on neuroscience around epilepsy. One person was like a security like specialist. there was somebody who was like math majoring. I don't remember what they were doing for work, but they were math majoring. Math majors are really smart, bro. I can't do all that. And then the other guy, one guy was trying to go into like HR work. And I just like something more businessy, but still like, that's not that easy. I feel like a lot of administrative knowledge for stuff. And then the last guy, I don't remember what he was doing, but he came back from winning a softball tournament and he showed off his medal to everybody. And then I don't remember what his job was, but he was earning like $40 an hour. Like, he was crazy. He also had like a really expensive watch that he was just passing around the table. Like, this guy was flexing like crazy. Yeah, like when you tell your family to do graphic design, not talk about the anime art side. Exactly. Every creative in the VTuber sphere knows what it's like to have to try and like describe your projects in like a not very VTuber full context. Or just like anime art is like a very similar sort of thing if you're doing art commissions to like try and frame it in a way that people understand. Just graphic design usually is like an easy way to say it. I don't know if it was a Rolex. It might have been. I didn't hold the watch. I just saw it in passing and I was like, oh, that's like a fancy watch. Like, I don't know watch brands like that, but you could tell. Hi, Karia. Welcome. No Imperial System. Metric Sweep. Facts. True and real. You guys want to know some like metric system lore that I can talk about right now? Not actually lore about the metric system, just something using the metric system. It's so hot outside today, guys. Oh my god, the feels like outside is 45 degrees. It's 45 outside. Not like entirely, but the feels like oh my god. For my Americans in chat, that is like over 110. It is death up here. Apparently Europe is in like a heat dome right now and Canada is going through the same thing up here. It is so bad. The air is really heavy. It's awful. And it's gonna be like this all week. I went out yesterday. It was so hot. I was dying. But I'm done outsiding for the week. So I'm just not going out in that, bro. Like, on God, I'm just staying inside until it's over. Yeah. Really, really hot out. I don't know if I'm ready for my hot girl summer. I think I just want my like lukewarm boy summer. Please, can we go back to just like 30? I'm begging. Went for a walk, was melting a little. Yeah, if I went for a walk today, I would be dying. I've done so much walking. I'm just gonna be a hermit for a couple days. I'll body it. But yeah, this Anyway, when I went drinking with these guys, man, it was like a really, really smart table. It was crazy to just listen to everybody. I think it was interesting though, because like some of the conversations were really like insightful and smart, and some of it was just dude shit. Like at the end of the day, it was still a table of 8 dudes all drinking beer, except for me. I got a cocktail. And it was pretty good. What was it called? It was like a blackberry smash or something. It was like, I want to say it was whiskey with like blackberry juice, lime, or like blackberry, lime, a mint leaf, and like some syrup or whatever. It was really good. I couldn't taste the alcohol at all. It was just very like citrusy and berry-y. I love blackberries and lime. It was very tasty, very good combo. And very generously, security specialist guy decided to pay for everybody's drinks. Like he bought a pitcher for everyone, but like he also just bought the other like couple beers in my cocktail. So that was really, really sweet of them. So I super appreciated that. It was really nice. You know, I was really worried that I was going to be very judged because I didn't know these people particularly, and you know, I didn't go to university and whatnot, but everybody was so kind to me. They were honestly really sweet people. I was very, very humbled by the experience. But yeah, it was very funny. You know, sometimes I think it was really funny to listen to just a group of dudes talking about really like nerd shit. Like there was one time where math major guy was trying to explain some like complicated algebraic concept to neuroscience guy, and I'm just like hearing a bunch of magic words, and somewhere in between that I remember him being like, yeah, because linear inequalities are doo-doo ass cheeks, da-da-da, and he just goes back to like saying a bunch of really academic shit, which I thought was really funny. Or like another stim that I thought was really funny is the security guy kept saying like hungry man thinks of bread anytime that somebody would like say something into like that was attuned to their own like internal biases. They would just be like, yeah, hungry man thinks of bread. And I was like, that's a kind of good one. I might steal that every once in a while. That's a kind of clever one. But there was some stuff that's like regular guy shit that I'm not the biggest fan of. Like, I come from a really, really multicultural neighborhood. And so the plus side of that is that you grow up with everybody. And I think the downside of that is a lot of people end up making jokes about like different groups of people. And they have the kind of mindset of like, oh, well, we make fun of everybody, so it's fine. And I don't think it's like entirely a wrong perspective and that it can't be done tastefully. It's just not really my cup of tea socially. So I just kind of didn't really tune into those conversations as much. But outside of like just the humor being a little bit incongruent sometimes, a really sweet group of guys on the whole. Very like educated. They're all doing a lot of pretty important stuff, and I thought that was really cool. It was very fun to listen to them talk about everything going on with their studies and their jobs. Very cool. It's not very often that you can go and sit in a room and feel like the dumbest person in the room and just get to listen to a bunch of really smart people spilling out their brains about different stuff they're passionate about. I had a really good time. I love doing that. So that was great. And also, after the drinks, I had gelato for the first time. I've never had gelato before. Ooh, it was good, dude. It was really good. I loved it. I got really fruity ones. You could do 2 flavors, and I did strawberry and pear. And they were so good. Dude, I got a pear gelato. It was really like gentle. Like the flavor was pretty like quiet but very nice. I was really good. I love it. And the strawberry, of course, I love strawberry also. Really, really good. It was so good. I think I used to be a little bit more of a stickler about going out for different kinds of desserts and paying like $5-6 for like one thing where it's like not that much dessert relatively. But also it was like just the right amount to like really enjoy it and be done. Like, I think that over time, I've actually come to appreciate small sizes on things. Even though the pricing is a scam and I wish it wasn't, sometimes it's like, why spend more money to have more than you want? You know what I mean? I've come around to letting myself pay a relatively worse price on certain things for the trade-off of just having enough to like enjoy myself and still paying the lowest amount of money for that. So anyway, gelato was really good. There was an interesting conversation I had with the HR guy where he was really quiet while we were drinking, but I got to talk with him a little bit more when it was just me, my high school friends, and HR guy, where he had this kind of mindset that leaked out where it was like, oh, I feel like usually if I'm not good at something right away, I just kind of like throw it away. Like, I don't tend to get better at it usually. And I was like, you should believe in yourself more, dude. Like, it's so normal to suck at things when you start. Like, that's how everything starts, Anything that's worth learning is not something that can be picked up in a day. Like, you gotta trust the process a little bit more. I think that I believe in some people having higher ceilings and lower floors for entry in certain skills, but I also think that that's talking about like the absolute tippy top like professionals, and you can do anything you want as a job or a hobby, like almost guaranteed, unless it's like so extremely competitive, like I don't know, like being a professional athlete or something. Like, you might be genetically capped out on that. You could be really good at your sport, maybe not like pro league athlete. You could be like a minor league athlete if you wanted, but I think in general, people greatly, even really smart people, in some ways, especially really smart people, greatly overestimate how good it is to suck at things and how important failure is for learning, you know? I think that it's something that every gifted person goes through, and some people go a longer time than others before they run into anything important in their life that kind of like check, you know, you get like checked a little bit and it's like, oh, I like have to learn for real. Like I can't just pick it up naturally. But I think it's really important, and I was glad to have like one thing with a little bit more wisdom that I could talk about to the smart people. But man, it was a crazy week for hanging out with my high school friends. I had a lot of fun. You know, I really don't get to talk to these guys very often. Like technically we have each other's contact, but they're really busy. I'm a little busy, and they're usually not around. So we tend to just hang out when they're in town. I usually only talk to them once every couple years nowadays. So it was really fun. One thing I forgot to mention, one of my high school friends was telling us about a relationship he's in now, that he's been in for a while, and apparently they met on Roblox. They're both adults for what it's worth, okay? They're both adults. There's nothing inherently wrong with this. But I was just like, man, what are you doing, bro? It was a very convoluted story. I was like, what are you doing, bro? It was, I don't know what's crazier to me. I have one friend who's been in a long-term relationship for like 5 years that started on Omegle, and now I have this friend who's been dating somebody for like a year that started on Roblox. I don't know which is crazier, to be honest. I think they're both pretty diabolical. But I guess that I'm just a magnet for people who be finding their dates in the weirdest possible spaces on the internet. You know, interesting, Omegle girlfriend guy also likes to go on Roblox, now that I think about it. I don't know, I was never a Roblox person. I really never played Roblox, like, growing up, but I've had a decent amount of friends who, even as adults, still like to mess around on there, which is kind of interesting, I guess. Oh well, anyway, it was a very contentful week with the high school boys. I wanted to get a third day in, and fortunately it didn't line up. Everybody was out with their family. I got to play some Catan with one of my middle school friends, one of my high school friends, and his girlfriend, and that was pretty fun. I love Catan, but I usually don't have people to play it with, except for when we do board game streams here. So that was fun, honestly. We should do another board game stream sometime soon-ish. It's been too long. But shout out Catan, that was fun. Yeah, it's a bit too brain rotty for me as well, but I had a really fun time with my high school friends. It was really great to see them again last week. And part of the reason that I couldn't spend more time with them was my other commitments. So, Friday was really scary, but really, really funny. Basically, I went to a middle school reunion, which is not a sentence I thought I would ever be saying. But I went to a middle school reunion, and it was actually really, really fun. I think the absolute craziest part of this was we had time capsules. We did time capsules from 10 years ago, and we got to open them all up, which was sick. So I have a letter from 10 years ago, Twi. Isn't that crazy, guys? I have a letter from me 10 years ago, and I'm gonna read it for you because I think it's really beautiful. I think it's really, really funny, and I want you guys to know about 10 years ago Twi. So here you go. I might have to omit a couple things from the letter, or I might have to skip a couple lines, but for the most part, I did proofread it. I can share almost everything with you, so let's do it. Dear Twi, it doesn't actually say Twi, but Dear Twi, from 2016, I hope life is treating you well. I've put together this time capsule to remind you of the good old days. I can't wait for you to see all the things you used to love and what the world was like. I do find it really funny that I was like writing this as though I was going to completely forget about everything about the world from 10 years ago. But ultimately, I kind of did forget a lot of this stuff. This is This letter is so funny past the intro paragraph. I'm just gonna start reading. It's so good, bro. It's so funny. Okay. Right now, I am a grade 6 student in love with school and technology. If you look in the capsule, you will see an iPod Touch 3rd generation. I left you a paper with some information on technology. The iPod 3rd gen came out in 2010, the 5th gen came out in late 2012, and your computer was assembled by your amazing dad in early 2016. Please look at some modern technology and compare its stats with the electronics I talked about. And I have my iPod from like 16 years ago. I have my iPod from Okay, well, I don't know that the iPod itself is actually from 16 years ago, in the sense that I don't know if I owned it when I was that young. But oh my god. Guys, it turned on. I managed to charge it. It turns on. Oh my god, dude. This iPod is so old. It has the old YouTube logo with the television. You guys know the little brown TV icon for YouTube? It's got that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. My games on here. My games on this iPod. I have a skee ball game. I have Yahtzee. I have Doodle Jump. I have Jetpack Joyride. This was back when, like, everybody on the Apple account, I think, had the games on the same, like, it would automatically download them all onto the device, I think. So my dad's games are on there, like, he's got some Solitaire and Sudoku and stuff like that. My grandma has a bunch of slots games on here. There's an annoying orange game from, like, back when that was big. There's Angry Birds. There's, I have some, like, sound effect apps, just because I thought they used to be funny. I have a videos app, but I don't have any of the videos I had downloaded anymore, unfortunately. I think those are on my iPod 5, but wow, like, generational throwback, I'm not gonna lie. Amazing throwback. It was so funny. And then on my letter here, there's a page at the back that has the specs for the iPod 3rd gen, 5th gen, and my old computer. I think the funniest part on the iPod, like, that I just talked about is I bothered to write camera none. Because it was back when there wasn't a camera on the iPod. I didn't remember that, but the old one didn't even have a camera. It was, like, really small. It was like 320 by 480 screen. It's very small. But it was really wholesome. Anyway, that was a really, really funny start to the letter. I would have never guessed that I put my old iPod in there. Yeah, I know, the annoying orange game. Crazy throwback. But anyway. That's the intro paragraph for the body. Let me continue on. The rest of it's also really funny in like different ways. We'll continue. As of now, grade 6 is coming to an end. We're learning about electricity, working on a heritage fair project, and reviewing all the other subjects for the most part. EQAO was a breeze for all my people not from Ontario. It's just like a standardized exam that you write in Ontario. I forgot what it actually stands for, but everybody calls it Evil Questions Attacking Ontario. You write it in grade 3, 6, 9, and 10, I think. Anyway, EQAO was a breeze. I think I've surpassed 90% on the test. Up to now, my final grade has always been 80% or higher. Math is my favorite subject right now. But I wonder what your favorite subject was in university. And then it gets worse. The next paragraph starts like this. I'm sure that you have at least one major. I don't really care about your relationship status. I just hope that you're happy. You've probably been hired, and I hope your job is wonderful, and your boss is as fantastic as my current boss. I don't know what I meant by this, by the way. I was not working when I was 12. Anyway, I also hope that the YouTube channel is still going strong. However your life is right now, I hope that it's joyful. So at least I got one. The YouTube channel, it's not the same one, but the YouTube is going better than it ever has in the past. So I can pat myself on the back for that one. But that was just like getting winded over and over and over. Does he know? Literally, does he know? I need water, bro. Oh my god. Oh my god. So, for reference, math was absolutely not my favorite subject by the time I was out of school. It was maybe my least favorite subject around the time I dropped out. I really like numbers. I love numbers. I love data. I don't love academic math, if I'm being honest. I think that too much of it feels a bit arbitrary to me. It's a lot of like memorizing things just kind of for the sake of it, and my working memory is kind of bad, so it's hard for me to hold on to them. So once it stopped being really intuitive, I stopped liking math very much. But in like a personal sense, I do really like math still, at least. If I were to have gone to university, I actually don't know entirely what I would have studied. I wanted to go into teaching elementary school, but I didn't end up doing that because in order to go to teacher's college, you have to get a diploma in any subject. It doesn't matter what bachelor's degree you get, but you have to get a bachelor's degree. And truthfully, I couldn't think of any bachelors that I wouldn't drop out of. Like anything I was passionate enough to actually finish. So I just decided not to go to university. But had I gone, I think there was a period of time around the age that I was like gonna be starting to think about it where I thought about journalism. Really glad I didn't do that. I also thought about psychology. I think psychology would have been fun. I think that I could have been a psych major if I were to have gone. And I think that if I ever had to go back, I don't know if I'd go for psych just in the sense that, I don't know, it would be like a clear-cut career choice for like how long it would take me to be viable. But I do love psychology, like just from a purely personal interest standpoint in terms of academic fields, probably psychology would have been the most fun for university. I think there was no universe I ever would pull off more than one major. Young me was definitely underestimating school. Oh my god, I would explode. I think that it's actually crazy that 6th grader Twi already low-key knew that he was ace before ace was even like a word in my repertoire. Like, I didn't learn about the concept of being aromantic or asexual or anything like that until I was like 18. But I think that it's so crazy that as a 6th grader, I literally wrote, I don't really care about your relationship status. I just hope that you're happy. Isn't that awesome? Like, I was so introspective as like just a little guy for real. That's so cool. I had been hired. I worked retail for a couple years, I guess. Not anymore. Got out of there. And the fact that I was already doing YouTube back then is kind of wholesome to think back about as well. Was a smart kid. Yeah, no. 12-year-old Twi was a smart kid. He was a good kid. I think that he had lots of his own issues. Very neurotic as a child. Not very socially adept, but I was a good kid, I think. This next paragraph, I'm going to skip the next paragraph because it was just talking about some of my old internet friends. You guys don't need to know about who they were, but just some of my old internet friends. And then the next paragraph I will read to you was really funny. This paragraph is so goofy, bro. Okay, hear this one. Hear this. Right now, our world is doing pretty well. Our Prime Minister is Justin Trudeau. We are developing renewable ways to generate energy, and technology is advancing at a good pace. Of course, there are bad things, though. Justin Bieber is popular again. Most music with lyric is meaningless, and Donald Trump is leading the US election. There are pros and cons, but things overall are good. It is kind of Canada Court, bro. The Justin Trudeau mention is crazy. Justin Trudeau, it's actually kind of crazy that Justin Trudeau was still prime minister until like this year, I'm pretty sure. Or like last year, maybe. I don't remember which. But long time. The Justin Bieber shade was crazy. I know. Hi, welcome, Coca. Hope you're doing well. We're currently reading a letter from my 6th grader self 10 years ago. I went to a middle school reunion last week, and there was a time capsule. So I'm currently reading a letter from when I was 12. But yeah, dude, I was like shook when I read. This is so funny, bro. Of course there are bad things though. Justin Bieber is popular again. Most music with lyric is meaningless, and Donald Trump is leading the US election was so fucking funny. You know, it's actually funny. I kind of forgot about this, but when I was younger, I was really into Geometry Dash. And so a lot of my only taste in music was stuff that was on Newgrounds. So I listened to a lot of electronic music, and I was a like real big hater of like mainstream music until I was like well into high school. Actually, you guys, if you guys can believe that, for as much as I love music nowadays, I was an elitist, bro. I was a snob when I was a kid. And I remember during the reunion, they were playing a bunch of old videos from my like 6th grade class. And there was one project where it was like, we had to do like an interpretive dance, or like we had to like choreograph a dance routine in groups as like an anti-bullying campaign thing that our class was doing. You could choose the songs. So a lot of people chose like really normal things, like Fight Song was one that I remembered was like a really good one. Like, this is my fight song, take back my life song. You guys know that one? Or like, there was Titanium was in there, like, you show me down, but I won't fall. I'm titanium. That song is good as hell, bro. There are some really good, like, normal choices from that era. Our group, I don't know how, it was like me and my friends, and we were doing some, like, Newgrounds rhythm game as fucking electro song. It was like a dubstep drop, and we were just fighting. It was so stupid, man. I was a really funny kid, man. It is a miracle how the people did not know that I was autistic when I was younger. But anyway, that's just about the end of the letter. There's one more paragraph. It goes, thank you for taking your time to read this. Life right now is pretty good. I've been pondering about if you're still introverted, but the world is pretty good and our family is doing well. I hope life is treating you well. And that purple is still your favorite flavor of giraffe. I don't know what that ending line means. I don't know, truthfully. I think it was like a stim from when I was like in middle school. I don't know if it meant anything back then. No idea. But hit myself a little inside joke to end it. I feel like that is a really me core thing that I would still do. And I think it was, again, really introspective 6th grade Twi, bro. I was so impressed by this, like, thought to even write down back then. I've been pondering about if you're still introverted. Like, what a fascinating question to come up with at that age. And I think, for the record, my answer is, like, kind of. Like, I think that I'm certainly a much more, like, ambiverted person, if anything. Like, I do value my alone time still quite a lot. But I love other people and I cherish other people so much, you know. I used to be a really shy kid. I only ever had a couple friends at a time most of the time in school. So come a long way from that. Really insightful. That was a really cool letter. I was really happy to read this and to find the iPod. Bro, I cannot believe that I put the iPod in there. That was such a cold move. That was the best present ever. I knew that I put something away in the time capsule, but I couldn't remember what it was for the life of me. I would have never guessed it was my oldest iPod. That was really funny. There was also a really funny thing, not exactly related to me, but I'll share it anyway. We had an old assignment in here from 6th grade also. It was another poem, where you had to write a poem about your favorite body part. So this was my body part poem. It goes, My favorite body part is my hand, for it fulfills all my demands. In the band, it helps me play the flute I practice every day. Perhaps my family I love so much appreciate my hugs and such. They also help me play games, draw pictures to go in frames, upload videos to gain more fame, and so much more that I can't name. So I'm going to leave out the rest, but now you know hands are the best. Very whimsical little poem, very cute. I think upload videos to gain more fame is really funny. I've been on the YouTube game forever, guys. Don't at me. And there's a picture. Everybody had to take a picture of their favorite body part. So there's a picture of my hands on a keyboard, because of course it was on a keyboard. And funnily enough, my picture actually got mixed up with one of my other friends from middle school, my best friend from middle school, because his poem was also about hands. And he was also a very like gamer child. Like they were showing in our in the middle of our reunion and they were playing the videos. There's a video of him having rebuilt our entire classroom in Minecraft and having like labeled seats with everybody's names where they go and whatnot. So it was not unfeasible that he would have had the keyboard one. But the real reason everybody was talking about his poem is, you know, most people wrote like a rhyming scheme poem, kind of like I did there, about their favorite body part. My friend, he wrote a poem about his hands. There were like 5 lines in that poem. None of them rhymed. There was no like writing conventions. And the last line in his poem was just out of nowhere. His last line was, "I love my soft white hands." And it was like even better because he didn't arrive until like way late. So we were just going through them as a class and everybody was like, yo, you guys gotta read this one. There's no way. So our pictures got mixed up. It was really funny. And there was a crazy moment where one of my friends that I haven't talked to in literally like at least 5 years recognized which picture was mine, because he was like, "Oh, you used to bite the knuckles on your fingers back then, and you can see it in the picture." And I was like, "Oh my god, that's crazy that you remember that about me, but you're right." He had like such a crazy like selective memory about people's medical conditions. It was unbelievable. Like we were just catching up and in the middle of it he was like, "Yeah, I remember a bunch of random stuff about people, like her over there, she has heart arrhythmia." I was like, "What? Okay." Like he just had like crazy medical record ball knowledge about a bunch of different people in our class. It was so funny, bro. It was amazingly funny. Oh my god. But the poems were hilarious, dude. There was also in the time capsule my same friend who wrote about loving his soft white hands. We got trophies for just like different various attributes given to us by our teacher. Like everybody got one. I think mine was like intuitive intellect or something, or like intuitive intelligence or something. There were 2 kids that got Drama King. One of them was my friend, and he put it in the fucking time capsule. So we got his Drama King trophy, which I thought was very funny. He also, dude, crazy, in his letter to himself, because we all wrote letters for the time capsule. Like almost everybody wrote about Donald Trump, which I think was really funny. Sorry, I don't like to be political on stream usually, but I just felt like it was funny. My friend's letter was like, "I really hope Donald Trump doesn't win the election. I think if Donald Trump becomes president, bad things are going to happen." And he also wrote a really crazy other like bad prediction in his letter to himself. Dude, oh my god, this one was so messed up. He was like, in his letter to himself, bro, he wrote like, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sure like grandma and grandpa aren't around anymore." And it was like, they were both alive when he wrote that. They're not anymore, but they were alive when he wrote that. I'm like, that's great. He was so like baffled by himself. He was like, "Oh my god, why did I write that?" crazy, dude. But his letter was mostly... I think my letter was probably on the whole funnier than his. But that was a crazy 2-line pull in his, like... in his letter to himself, bro. His bad omens came true. Oh my god. But it was really cool to meet up with a bunch of people from school. You know, most of them are just kind of doing like regular university or just out of university stuff. One of my friends is like started up a business venture with somebody who is in his like business degree like program with him, and like I thought that it was just gonna be like something pretty amateur, but it's like this dude is a bit older. Like he went to university later in life, and he worked in this industry for like 10 years before doing a startup with my friend who's like my age. So I was like, wow, like that's a really cool mentorship opportunity that you're kind of getting to be business partners with somebody like that. That's really cool. There's another one of my friends. I was like really uncertain about him because he was a really smart kid. He was really into science in middle school. And then I heard that he just kind of like stopped being so good and he like became a SoundCloud rapper or something. But I met him. He was so well kept. He looked great. He was studying biology in university. Like he was so fine. He was so normal. I was like really expecting him to be bumming it out for real like me, but he was actually like really studious and good. So that was cool. One of my other friends from middle school didn't show up. Apparently, a couple of my friends have him on Discord still, and they were like, oh my god, bro, this guy is playing War Thunder instead of coming to the school reunion, which I thought was so funny, dude. He used to be really, really like crazy into Call of Duty. I think that the fact that he, and like military stuff in general, I think the fact that he became a War Thunder guy is so unsurprising and really funny. I guess just let him be a hermit and play his tank games. Didn't get to see him again, but hope he's doing well out there. And then in terms of like people I didn't know as well, you know, it was cool to see everybody. A couple people are like more or less the same. A couple people were like way different, you know, like way different hair or whatnot. A lot of people had really cool hair, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like really big diversity and stuff. There was like some people with like a crazy afro or like dreads. There were people who just had like really beautiful, like long, smooth hair. Like there was one girl that I remembered for having like a little curly afro back when we were in school together, but now she like chemical straightened it out. And I like genuinely, I could not even tell that it was her until I heard her name. I had no idea. But it was really pretty. I mean, so many people just had like really nice hair. I loved it. And it was really interesting to hear about like what everybody was up to. There were like multiple professional athletes from my like graduating class in middle school. I feel like that's nuts, dude. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that's really crazy. But there were like a lot of people like that. There were like various business people, medical people, like a lot of like pretty smart people in general again. There were a couple people that weren't there that apparently have been to prison since the last time I saw them. I went to school with quite a cast, man. There's a big range on the people I went to middle school with. It's a real mixed group. But it was really fun. I got to see my favorite teacher, like not even the one who was my 6th grade teacher. He was like my 8th grade teacher. He was also there. I was so happy. I got to give him a hug and talk about life. He's a really sweet guy. It was really funny. One of the dudes from my class was like really trying to get him to stay. He was like, yo, your kids are grown, fam. Why are you who are you going home to? And my teacher was like, I'm not going home to my kids, man. I gotta go see my dog. Like, it was really fun. He was trying to get our teachers to drink with him, bro. Like, he really wanted them to, like, agree to go out and, like, do shots with him, bro. It was so funny. Dude, my 6th grade teacher, she's, like, really sweet. She's just, like, a really sweet, like, aunt core person. She has big aunt energy. And it was so funny watching this, like, really street guy from my class being like, yo, you want to do shots with us one time? And her being like, Yeah, sure. Like basketball. And then I was laughing with him, and then she was like, "Oh, like a picture?" Like she did it again. She did it twice. She said, "Oh, like a picture." And then she realized what she meant. She was like, "Oh, no." It was so funny, dude. It was so funny. I was dying, bro. But like there were some crazy people, bro. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like there was like a group of people that pulled up like a bit late, and I'm low-key like pretty sure that they might have been drinking and driving, which is really not cool. Never do that, guys. Please never ever do that. It's really, really messed up. That was crazy. Somebody found like a beer, like just like a solo cup of beer, like on the school grounds, like in the middle of the reunion as well. It was like, my teacher just walked in from outside. Was like, "Guys, what is this?" And it's like a cup of beer. And somebody was just like everybody was just like kind of like shocked. And somebody was like, maybe it's just like apple juice or something. And my teacher had to pour out a glass of beer. I was like, oh my God, bro. Yeah, exactly. Just get an Uber, like, please, you know. Like, my neighborhood is a little bit, not terrible, not great. Like I said, very mixed bag of people, you know. Making me miss my teachers. Yeah, I mean, honestly, there are a lot of really sweet teachers that I think about still. Ran into one of my teachers the other year during a charity thing your brother was doing. It's been 10 years. Wow, yeah. That's really nice. I feel like running into your teachers like in the future and like getting to talk to them as an adult is really cool feeling, honestly. It's really sweet. Like I'm always surprised how much they remember about like students. Like or at least in my case, how much they remember about me. I was very surprised. You know, my 6th grade teacher was so sweet to me. Like I remember when I came, she literally like came running out of the portable, like, and she ran up and gave me a hug and was like, "Oh my God, I didn't think you were gonna come today. I'm so glad you're here today." And like it was so sweet. And like later when I was talking to her about trying to get diagnosed for ADHD and like, you know, how they're asking for my report card for like the comments or whatever, she was like, "Oh, well, I mean, I have the comment, but like it wouldn't help you because I was just calling you amazing in like 50 different ways. Like you don't understand, but I really looked up to you for real when you were in my class. Like you were really just..." And then she started like bowing. She did like a bowing gesture. I was like, "Oh my God, bro." Like it was 6th grade. Like, like I was really flattered, but I was like, "Oh my God, dude." This is like a crazy amount of praise to be receiving for just being like a regular 6th grader. I wasn't in like a gifted program or doing any like, I wasn't running my club yet. Like none of the stuff that I got awards for, or not that middle school awards mean anything, guys, but still like it was very sweet. Also, hi Thurifer, welcome. Happy Canada Day. Yippee! I'm currently talking about my experience going to a middle school reunion last week. It was crazy. Crazy how much my teacher remembered I was an unruly smart mouth punk man, like passive aggressive. Okay, well, to be fair, I do feel like being a bit of a rowdier kid will definitely get you remembered. I was always surprised that my teachers remember me because I was a very like soft-spoken kid. I was just like quiet, smart teacher's pet. Hi Luz, welcome. Thank you for the raid. Welcome Raiders. Happy Canada Day. Hi, my name is Twi. You're out of this world. Canadian virtual idol, of course. I hope you guys had a good stream. I saw you were doing some art earlier. I hope it went well. I lurked a little bit. I popped in while I was setting up. You were like, "I'm gonna focus on the pants," and I was like, "You do that, Luz. I believe in you. I hope you focused on the pants. I hope you got them shaded." But welcome. This is my first stream back after like a week and a half. I've been getting dragged out and about like all week. It's been crazy. I was just talking about I had a middle school reunion last week. And I had a time capsule from 10 years ago. It was crazy. I'm gonna read this again. I'm gonna read this again because I want the people to know. Luz, you need to hear this. This letter was so funny. This was so funny. Sorry, I know if you have to like go anywhere, that's okay. But if you have a couple minutes, this letter was generational. It's so goated. From 10 years ago. I'm gonna omit like 2 lines for my own personal privacy. But anyway. Dear Twi, I hope life is treating you well. I'm currently 12 years old. I've put together this time capsule to remind you of the good old days. I can't wait for you to see all the things you used to love and what the world was like. All right, here we go. Right now, I'm a grade 6 student in love with school and technology. If you look in the capsule, you will see an iPod Touch 3rd Gen. I left you a paper with some information on technology. The iPod 3rd Gen came out in 2010. The 5th Gen came out in late 2012, and your computer was assembled by your amazing dad in 2016. Please look at some modern technology and compare its stats with the electronics I talked about. And like, I actually put the iPod in here. I got it to turn on, guys. It's so old. There's like the little like earth thing where you like slide to unlock for my home screen. There's the old YouTube app with the TV icon for the app icon. And actually it's both. Somehow I have the TV YouTube and I have like the old YouTube with like the, it's just like it says U on top and then like the red like rectangle that says tube in text under. I got all the old games on here like Doodle Jump, Jetpack Joyride, Angry Birds. There's an annoying orange game on here. It's so old, bro. Oh my god. Generational. Generational. I can't believe it still turns on. It's so awesome. But the rest of it, of this letter, is also really funny. Like, that part was so goated. I was so not ready for the iPod, but the rest is really funny too. It goes, as of now, grade 6 coming to an end. We're learning about electricity. Oh, I forgot to talk about this. Somebody got electrocuted in my grade 6 class. I forgot about that until we were talking about it at the reunion. But anyway, sorry. We're learning about electricity, working on a heritage fair project, and reviewing all the other subjects for the most part. EQAO, which is a Canadian exam for all my Ontarians. They were okay, yeah, they were fine, don't worry. But yeah, EQAO is a breeze. I think I've surpassed 90% on the test. Up to now, my final grade has always been 80% or higher. Math is my favorite subject right now, but I wonder what your favorite subject was in university. Which, for anybody new who doesn't know, I didn't even finish high school. I went on to make it even worse. My next paragraph goes, I'm sure that you have at least one major. I don't really care about your relationship status. I just hope that you're happy. You've probably been hired, and I hope your job is wonderful, and your boss is as fantastic as my current boss. I don't know what I meant by this. I think maybe YouTube MCN is the best thing I can think of. Now, I didn't think of that earlier. I think it was YouTube MCN, actually. I remember my guy. That was, like, spotting my YouTube MCN. That must have been what I meant, because he was actually my friend. Okay. We figured it out. We figured out my 12-year-old job. It was just me earning, like, pennies on YouTube with my MCN. Arrow, I also hope that the YouTube channel is still going strong. However your life is right now, I hope that it's joyful. So that was really sweet. The next paragraph is really, really funny. This one was goated. Right now, our world is doing pretty well. Our Prime Minister is Justin Trudeau. We are developing renewable ways to generate energy, and technology is advancing at a good pace. Of course, there are bad things, though. Justin Bieber is popular again. Most music with lyric is meaningless. And Donald Trump is leading the US election. There are pros and cons, but things overall are good. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Justin Bieber is popular again. Most music with lyric is meaningless. And Donald Trump is leading the US election. Has to be the funniest thing I could have possibly written. That was... Man, to be fair, everybody wrote about Donald Trump in their letters. I'm not gonna lie, everybody was writing that. But oh my god, bro. Justin Bieber is popular again. I was such a Justin Bieber hater when I was a kid. I was like, I don't know what it was, man. Like, I remember some of the ones that I hated. Call Me Maybe. I'm sorry. Who's that artist? Like Carly Rae Jepsen or something? Maybe. Canadian artist though. Shout out. Big Canada Day. I didn't like Call Me Maybe when I was a kid, but I like it now though. It's good. I don't remember the other artist that I was thinking was Rebecca Black, dude. They used to play Friday on the PA every Friday. You would just get into school and it'd be, it's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. And I was like so sick of it as a kid because I was a music hater for real until I was like deeper into high school. Dude, yes. Oh my God. They used to always play it. Oh my God. Oh, also, I remembered, everybody hated that song? Okay. I don't think it's like the worst ever in hindsight, but handshakes around with everybody else, I guess. Thanks, guys. Also, on the topic of like music on the PA, I remember the other day I was talking to one of my friends and we were just like being really silly and they made me sing the Canadian national anthem in French, which I haven't thought about since I was in middle school. But I thought it was kind of funny. You guys want to hear the Canadian national anthem in French for Canada Day? Our Canada Day karaoke. You guys want to hear the French Canadian national anthem? I remember I was looking up the lyrics for this, and it's on the official government website of Canada. They have the lyrics, which I think is really funny. But let me take you guys not even just back, because this is like way pre-Twi era. I've long forgotten French, but you guys can hear my French a little bit. Not my French, but the French national anthem in my voice. Are you guys ready to feel really Canadian? All right, guys, Canada Day. Everybody please rise for the national anthem. Man, why am I making myself do this in French? I hate myself so bad. I'm gonna try so hard not to laugh, though. I'm gonna try so hard not to laugh. I can do this. I can do this. Let me do reverb. Let me also do reverb. Hey. Bonjour. Yes, rise for the national anthem. Thank you. Thank you for the flag also. Thanks, Nahi. Au Canada, terre de nos aïeux, ton front est ceint de fleurs glorieux, car ton bras sait porter l'épée, il sait porter la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits et ta valeur, deux fois trompée, protégera nos foyers et nos doigts. Protégera nos foyers et nos doigts. I don't know if my pronunciation was good on the end there or on any of it, but there you go. Yippee! Happy Canada Day, guys. Woo! While it was top of mind, there you go. French Twi. The only time you will ever get French Twi. I hope you're feeling extra patriotic about Canada Day now. But yeah, that's probably the middle school reunion arc. I have more stories. That is not the end of the storytelling for today, but that was middle school. Twi Telescopium. Yes, the Frenchoscopium. Twi Francophonium. There you go. Bang. But yeah, the reason that I wasn't able to hang out with my high school friends more outside of the middle school reunion on the Friday was also I had a grad party for my cousin who just finished his university degree. He's already working as an engineer, because he's the GOAT. Big ups to him. But he's moving also, man. Everybody in my life is moving. Man. But his grad party was really fun. Immediately after getting there, I like did not get to eat before we left because we were already running late. Partially my fault. But it's okay. We're always late for stuff, or at least enough that nobody cared. And we're still like some of the earliest people there, surprisingly. I think we got invited early or something. But as soon as I got there, despite not having eaten, my aunt, like my cousin's mom, I feel like every time that I go to visit them nowadays as an adult, she always wants to mix me a drink. So she wanted to offer me a drink, and I didn't really think about the fact that I hadn't eaten yet. So I was like, yeah, sure. Like, what do you got? And I was just like crossing my fingers for anything but beer. They obviously had a lot of beers. Like, trust me, guys. I'm from a Canadian family, like a Canadian family. They're a lot of beer guys. But they did have other stuff because she's like a wine mom kind of, you know? So, not that I had wine though. They mixed me a drink. It was just like pineapple rum and pineapple juice. It tasted like pineapple. Couldn't taste the rum. It was just pineapple. It was great. It was really great. And then I started to feel kind of like, oh, like I haven't eaten today and I just drank rum. That was dumb. I wasn't like drunk by any means. It was like one glass, but still I was like, oh, like I should eat food like now. It didn't sit good, you know what I mean? I felt a little bit sick. And it was made worse because before they got around to actually barbecuing and like having food ready for everybody, my aunt was also like, oh, I really wanted you to try this cider that I have as well. It's this like spicy apple cider. And I was like, okay, just a sip. I'll try a sip, because I was like, I should not drink more alcohol right now. I really shouldn't, but I did. She did not actually like just give me the thing for a sip or pour a sip. She didn't pour like a lot, but it was probably like, I don't know, like maybe a few centimeters, like an inch from the bottom of the glass, which is not a sip, okay? That's a gulp, all right? That's like a substantial drink, especially because I didn't like it, but I didn't tell her that. I'm not gonna lie, I think spicy alcohol, not for me. It burned. It was not good. The whole point of cider in my brain is like, oh, you get to drink apple, yum. And then it's like, actually, no, you get to drink burn. How about acid? Enjoy. Like, I don't get it. I don't get the appeal. I'm sure that some people probably like it. Otherwise they wouldn't make it. But I don't like when my alcohol burns. That wasn't very swag. But we had some good food. I ate a lot of food. I ate a lot of dessert. So much cake. They had really good cinnamon rolls. Oh man, I ate so much cinnamon roll. They had some fruit. Had some watermelon. Been a while since I had watermelon, actually. It was pretty nice. I felt really bad because this same aunt who kept making me drink, by the way, at one point was like, oh, can you do me a favor? Can you refill your grandma's cup with the Baileys? And I've never drank Baileys. I've never, like, I didn't know about it. So I took it, and this is when I was like, before I ate, and I just literally, this is so awkward thinking back to it. I like went to my grandma, and my first thing was like, yo, aunt was saying that you wanted that I should come and pour you more alcohol. And I am really stupid. I didn't look at what the percentage on it was before I poured it. Now, to be fair, I did not pour anywhere near a full glass. Like, I probably only poured like maybe a fifth, or like probably like a quarter of like a solo cup. So I didn't pour that much. But still, you know, like I didn't know how much to pour. I didn't look. I poured it after like 17%, I noticed, and I was like, oh, that's actually kind of a lot, isn't it? I went over, and my grandma was like, you're gonna have them trying to like having to pull me out of here. They're gonna have to carry me home later. And I was like, I'm sorry, grandma. You want me to drink some of it? Here, I'll drink it for you, or like. I was like, I'll finish the rest at least for you. You don't have to drink all of it. And she was like, no, it's fine, sweetie, it's fine. And then she drank it like over the next little bit. So I got my grandma drunk by accident. Oh my god, dude. It was a lot of people drinking at that grad party for just being a family thing. We ended up playing Marco Polo in my cousin's pool while like half of the group was just like slamming beers. Like literally between rounds of Marco Polo, people were like going off to the side of the pool to drink another beer. It was kind of crazy in hindsight. I mean, it was fun. I haven't played Marco Polo in like 10 years. So that was pretty fun. I also, unfortunately, I blistered my fingers on the like concrete by the pool. It's finally starting to heal, but that was like a lot more than I thought. At least I think it was from that, because I don't know what else it would have been from, but it messed my fingers up way more than rock climbing somehow. Anyway, pool was fun. Haven't been swimming in quite a long time, so that was really fun. There was like a moment where my cousins were playing music together, like they're playing guitars, and my aunt just like walked up, like a different aunt walked up behind me and just started braiding my hair out of nowhere. So I got a hair braid. I did not keep it for very long. I don't like my hair being tied. It feels like kind of pulley. I don't like it. But I did tolerate it. It was a cute braid, at least. I respect it. Not really like my thing, but it was a cute braid. And then after that, we went for a walk with like all the cousins. And we were just talking about adult stuff that I maybe won't share on stream, but it was a cool walk. It was a fun walk. It was not, I love walks, so it was nice to just chat with my cousins. Again, it was one of those things where I didn't have a lot of stories because I didn't go to university, but I was content. A lot of just like chilling with people and listening to their life experiences in the past week. I did so much of that. But yeah, all in all, really fun. Also, my cousin's dog is so cute. She's just like a really cute, fluffy little dog, and she was so sweet. Oh my god. I was just like chilling with her while she was napping because she got really tired from all the people. It was so cute. And I also had a nap in the middle of the party. I just like went in their basement and crashed for like an hour and a half. I always fall asleep at the family functions, man. I cannot stay awake. It's just my social battery is just gone, and I just conk out. I can't help it. But their dog was so cute. I love her. She's so baby. And then my aunt, like when we were sitting outside, they kept trying to put her in my lap, and she would stay for like a minute, and it was really cute. But I also felt bad for the dog that they kept like picking her up and putting her in people's laps instead of just letting her like chill on the ground. But all in all, she was so cute. Oh, guys, I wish I could have a dog so bad. I wish my parents weren't allergic because dogs are so cute. Ooh. Anyway, it was really, really sweet. I love them. Those aunts are like, my aunt who was hosting this whole thing is like, every time I go there, she's like, you know, one of these days you should come and watch my house for like a weekend and like take care of the dog. And I don't know if that's like her thinking that I have nothing better to do, or if it's her just like really wanting to go out and like trying to pawn it off to me. Because she'll always phrase it like, you know, you could experience like having the house all to yourself, you know, as if I've like never spent time by myself in like a home before. But, or like it really matters to me, but you know, anyway, maybe at one point I'll do that. Oh, you have a little puppy, just follows you around at your house for a week like my shadow. Oh, cute. I don't know if one of your messages got eaten, but either way, that is very cute. Oh, I love puppies. They're so adorable. Ooh. But yeah, the grad party was fun. 13! Yo! Welcome. Hope you had a good stream. Hi, my name is Twi. You're out of this world. Canadian virtual idol. Gotta have the details for today. And today I'm just chatting a lot. I've been out and about for like a week and a half. I was just talking about my cousin's grad party, but I mean, I've been doing a lot of stuff. I went to a middle school reunion. I went to like an unofficial like high school like grade reunion where we went drinking. A whole bunch of stuff. Just lots of story sharing. Hope you've been good, 13. Welcome. Happy Canada Day. You gonna go see fireworks today, 13? I'm not. It's too hot outside. It's too hot out there right now, man. It's death outside. I can't be bothered, but like... Yeah, right? Right, bro? What's the feels like? Like 45 or something ridiculous? Like, I am not going out there, bro. No way. But, oh, you are also talking about your cousin's dog, Nira. Nice. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll catch some fireworks out the window. Anyway, that was all of my, like, major family stuff over last week. I went out yesterday also. It wasn't anything too crazy. Well, the weather yesterday was crazy. It wasn't quite as bad as today, but it was still like ridiculously hot. The feels like must have been like 40 or something because it was so, oh my god, dude, like the air was so heavy. It was just awful. But we went to dim sum, which was very tasty. Dying in Canada while California is it's only 20. Nah, there's no way it's only 20 in California. There's no way. I mean, I'm sure the rest of the summer is going to be like the inverse and they're going to be dying, but like, that's crazy. That's so crazy. It's awful here. What? Dude, man, I would love to be in California right now. That would be so swag. I was going to say, yeah, I would imagine normally it's like way, way hotter than that, but... You know, funnily enough, I feel like I was talking with one of my friends from Cali who was like, yeah, I've noticed that you talk about the weather like so much. Like nobody talks about the weather here. But like, guys, you gotta understand, Canadians love talking about the weather. Well, actually, it probably depends where, right? I guess if you were in like Vancouver, like the weather is probably the same all the time and it's not really much of a talking point. But like Toronto, the weather is like so variable. You gotta talk about the weather. Like, it's not just small talk for real. It's big talk. That's like the talk, bro. It is low-key nice right now. I'm happy for you. I wish I could agree. I am currently dying. I might have to take a second shower today. I probably won't. I'll probably just die. But like, man, it's hot. What was I saying? Yeah, I went to dim sum with my mom and my sister. Normally... my sister's boyfriend also tags along, which is really helpful because my sister and my mom are really, really small eaters. Like, they get full really quickly. But he was working, so we went to dim sum. I had to body so much food. I had to body, like, everything, dude. Oh, my God. I've never eaten so much meat in my entire life. I think I ate, like, 2/3 of the platter of chicken and pork. Like, half the platter of, like, Chinese broccoli. I was just inhaling food, bro. It was so much. I was tapped out, like, unironically, like 6 or 7 pieces before I finished eating for the... Sorry, obligatory 6-7, doing the hands, 6-7. Also 20 in Vancouver right now. Oh, interesting. And rainy. As long as it's like a cool-ish rain, I agree with that. I do love rain. I feel like a lot of people are not rain enjoyers, but when it's a nice rainy day, rain is goated. I don't know if I could do like year-round rain like Vancouver, but it's really good. But yeah, we went to dim sum. That was nice. Just kind of walked around the city. Got a crazy deal. I got some strawberries for really, really cheap. So I've been eating strawberries. Very tasty. They were like enormous strawberries too. Like the biggest strawberry I've ever seen. Unironically, it was almost the size of my fist. Maybe not quite that big, but like probably at least 3/4. It was probably about 3/4 the size of my fist, which feels crazy. Like for a strawberry, that's a huge strawberry, dude. Maybe it wasn't 3/4. Maybe it was like 2/3. But still, it was a really big strawberry, okay? It was the biggest strawberry I've ever seen in my life. But yeah. And with that, I am done my outsiding. with an asterisk. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to go to this, but my family has invited me to a gender reveal party. Guys, I'm so white. It's not even the first gender reveal party on this side of the family, apparently. I wasn't in contact with them for a long time, so I didn't know. Apparently, last time they did this, there's like a guy in my family who's a pilot, and they set up a gender reveal party where they like put a thing in his tailpipe that would make it spew out pink gas for being a girl. I was like, that does not sound safe, bro. That's really scary. I have no idea what they're doing for this year. Nobody knows. My mom like freaked me out about it because she was like, you know, oh, he's like a pilot. He knows about doing explosives. And it's like, I don't think she actually meant that they were going to blow anything up. I don't think there's actually explosives, guys. I think she was conflating like smoke shows with explosives, but yeah. I'm debating if I want to go to that one or not still. Especially because the weather is just really great right now here in Canada, guys. Happy Canada Day. But like, I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't know if I'm gonna go to that. You might get the first person account from me. You might get the like my family told me about what happened account from me. I'll keep you posted. But interesting. I like don't really know the cousin that's having the child either, so like there's not really a personal incentive for it. I just think it would be funny to be able to say that I went to a gender reveal party. I don't know if I'm gonna do it, but it would be funny. It would be funny. But yeah, outside of that, mostly been pretty chill. I did some mixing work throughout the week in between things. I finished mixing 2 covers, and I finished a music video for one of them. That one, I don't know when it's coming out. Secret project. Might be a while, but hopefully early July still. I'll have another cover coming out soon. Be really swag. I played a lot of Slay the Spire. I'm at 200 hours on Slay the Spire now. I got back into my Spire addiction. And I got a really crazy run before stream, actually. I think the luckiest run I've ever had in all of my 200 hours of playing the game. Dude, I don't know if 13 is still here. 13, I gotta send you this run, bro. I had the craziest claw run of my life. It was so funny. I was trying to like teach Nahi how to play the defect. And so I was just like doing a random A10 run, and I got like everything. I got the best claw build ever. Dude, if you think my other claw run was lucky, you're gonna like actually shit bricks looking at the result of this run. Only it was streamed. I should have, bro. I should have went live sooner for it. I'll have to do like another Spire stream this week now that we're back. But I can show it. For anybody who plays Slay the Spire and you want to look at this run a little bit, this run was insanely lucky. Basically, I'm gonna have to cover myself. That's fine. I got a genetic algorithm on the first, literally the start of the game. I got a rare card as my relic, and it was genetic algorithm, which is a card that gains 3 block every time that you use it, but you can only play it once per battle, right? So I got it up to about 30 block, and I got clone on it, which lets you duplicate the card. So by the run, I had like 8 cards that were 1 energy, like 40 block cards, which is insane. I also got 3 claws, and I got the thing that lets me double their damage, which is insane. I got bulk up, which is like one of the best powers you can get for this build. And it costs 2 energy, and I got an event that lets me effectively make it only cost 1 energy. I got so lucky on this run. It was unbelievable. Like, I got like a bunch of the best relics in the game. I was so strong that I had a lizard tail and a fairy in a bottle, which both revive you when you die, and I didn't have to use either of them. I would literally beat the run on almost full HP because I was almost no-hitting every major boss fight. It was insane. I got like generationally lucky. It was amazing. Like everything that could have possibly went right on that run went right. It was so fun. And it was like even funnier because like I was doing this on screen share with Nahi to like tell her about how to play the character. And like the whole time I'm like, well, this is like insanely lucky, but like I think she put it afterwards. It's like, yeah, the way you win on the defect is you get lucky and then you keep getting lucky and then you keep getting lucky. It was really fun. I did. I hope you don't die soon. I did. I used up all my good luck. I was literally like, damn, I'm gonna have 10 years bad luck because I just used it all on one run of Slay the Spire. But yeah, we're doing that. A couple poems, like I showed the Mint poem on stream. I got Mint to play Refined Self, by the way. Oh my god, I was so happy. I don't want to share too much because I don't know if he's like gonna talk about it on his own places, but that's my favorite game, or well, one of my favorite games ever. So I was really happy to talk about the game with him. More friends need to play Refined Self. More Twinights need to play Refined Self. If you haven't watched my streams of the game and you don't want to buy it, you could do that. If you have watched them, I don't care. Go buy it anyway. It's a banger. It's on sale. Steam summer sales, like $5 if you're American, like $7 for my Canadians out there. Very good. Yes, please, please, Sev. It's so good. It's so good. I promise you will love it. It's only a few hours long if you do all 3 playthroughs. Like basically, the premise of the game, for anybody who doesn't know, it's a game that's like very open-ended and it's a personality test game. So it'll assess like literally all of your micro decisions in the game and like give you a personality assessment based on what you did in the game because you have a limited number of actions throughout the game. And it's the best personality test I've ever done. I think it's better than MBTI, better than Enneagram, better than Big Five, all of these like mainstream ones. I think it beats all of them in terms of quality. It's the most accurate I've ever done for something like this. The game itself is really fun. It's only like an hour to play through. And if you play through it 3 times, there's a really, really beautiful extension of the story. It's just a really beautiful piece of media. I think it's one of the best pieces of media I've ever consumed in my life. I love Refined Self. I will die on this hill promoting this game. I really cannot recommend it enough. If you guys are looking for a little indie game to have some fun, learn a bit about yourself, maybe shed a few tears, check out Refined Self personality test game. Highly recommend. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna. Oh, actually, there is one more summer sale cop I gotta pick up. I don't know if it's on sale. It's not, but I'm gonna buy Mitsa Chameleon. That's gonna be really fun. I've been seeing a lot of clips of that, so I'm looking forward to trying that game out with some friends also. But I think that's probably all of my my stuff. Yeah, refined or not refined self. Sorry. Let me make sure that I get the spelling right on this. It's Refined Self, the personality test game. Like finding yourself again, kind of refined. Really beautiful game. Highly recommend. And also, I guess while I'm shilling games that I like, yes, oh, this one is also really good and 50% off on Steam right. Well, 45%, close enough. For my Canadians, not even $5 you could buy right now. A Short Hike. I love the game A Short Hike. It's a really beautiful game about like, I think that the message of the game is a little bit about like anxiety and letting go of it. But it's a really pretty game. You just kind of get dropped into nature. And the game is kind of just side questing like a billion things. Like if you have ADHD, I promise you A Short Hike will be like the best 2 hours of your life. It's a really cute game that is really like side questy. I loved it so much. I played it like several times. I've gifted it to a bunch of my friends. I love I do love Refined Self, but I was gonna say I love A Short Hike also. If you guys are looking for another good summer sale game, 45% off. It's like probably, what would that even be in USD? Like they might charge you like $4, $3.50, something like that. It's a really good price is what it is. Highly recommend. But yeah. Oh, wait. A Little to the Left is 60% off. I've always thought this game looked really cute. Have any of you guys played A Little to the Left? I've been thinking that this game would be a cute pickup forever, but I never wanted to do it because it would only ever go on sale for like 10-20%. And I was like, nah, that's too expensive for that for me. But like, maybe. Finished and thought about buying the DLC. I didn't even know this game had DLC. How much does it, how long did it take you? Really fun game to do in one sitting. Okay, it's a one sitting kind of game. Got you. For $8 before tax. So like $9-ish. I'll think about it. It's a maybe from me. I've been trying to be a little bit more careful about doing a lot of small game purchases for myself. And I'm already going to do Mecha Chameleon, so I'm not 100% if I'll do it or not, but I will consider it. If I get anything else for summer sale, it probably will be this. But I'm glad to hear. Yeah, I think alternate solution stuff is fun. I think a game that I liked for this was Baba Is You, but the problem with Baba Is You is it just got too complicated. Like, it was really fun until it was, like, ungodly complicated, and I just couldn't, like, deal with it mentally anymore. But but having like a more lax puzzle game for that, I feel like would actually be super up my alley for like a one-off stream or something. Yeah, Baba's You was really cool. I did that. I played that game a bunch with my like engineer cousin. And he's really smart. And even for him, it was like low-key too much. I like that game a lot, but I will almost certainly never like finish it. Like the ending you can get really easily, but like doing all the puzzles, not a shot. Not a chance. But I do like it. Very fun game. Also, I have a completely unrelated question that I want to ask you guys. Is my mic sound normal today? Is it louder? And if it's louder, has it been peaking at all today? Because I noticed it never used to go in the red, but it's like in the red a lot today. But also, like, I don't know, my settings should just be usual. Like, I don't know if I changed anything by accident. Seems fine, been sounding fine. Okay, good. Maybe I can finally like get my streams louder, because I've always noticed, at least on my YouTube VODs, that it feels like everything is a little bit too quiet. Like, it's just always been quiet. So, well, I have a limiter on, Sev, as well. So I'm not like super worried about it. But, or wait, I lied. Do I not have a limiter on? Wait, psych, I don't have a limiter. What the heck? What happened to my limiter? Wait, why is my limiter gone? Bruh. Oh, I think I was gonna switch it to my, to the newer limiter that I've been using in my mixes, because I changed my plugin that I've been using, but I never put it on this chain. Interesting. Where is it, man? Where is LoudMax? Shout out LoudMax. It's a free one. And it's a good one. I like it. Oh, is it not going to show here? I don't know if I can get it to show up in like the place where my filters are at, actually. Okay, I'll just do the kilohertz one then again. I'll just put the kilohertz one back into my chain. Limiter, I hardly even know her. True. Okay, I put my limiter back in the chain. I'm gonna like turn my, or I don't know. You're gonna hear me twice. Testing. Oh yeah, I sound normal. Okay. So I guess my microphone just gets louder now. I mean, that's sick. We'll take that. I don't know what I did. I have no idea what I did, but it gets louder. That's hype. The only thing I can think of that might have changed, that I actually can't believe I haven't talked about on stream yet today, is I finally replaced my headphones, guys. I'm so happy. I'm literally so happy. Oh my god. I was like crying yesterday. I'm finally done with my really, really old pair of DT770 Pro headphones that are like falling apart. Like the leather on the headband will like flake off into my hair half the time that I take it off. You can like feel the edge of the ear cups, like they didn't stay into the headphones anymore. the band was broken. I probably electrical taped it like 5 different times to keep the headphones together. The wire has been really finicky for like a year. Like you move it wrong and like you can only hear sound in one ear. Like it was a really, really overdue pair of headphones. I wasn't even gonna replace them yet. But my dad was helping me like with the taping them back together a lot of the time. And he was like, you know, it's getting annoying to keep fixing these. Like, just go order another pair, dude. Like, I'll pay for it. Just, I don't want to fix these again. So, big ups to Twi Dad. Very, very sweet, because this is not a cheap pair of headphones. They're like $300. They're a lot of money, so really, really grateful for that. There's a reason that I wasn't replacing them for so long. But if you guys are ever in the market for a more expensive pair of headphones, I cannot enough recommend the DT770 Pros from Beyerdynamic. Incredible pair of headphones. The most comfortable ever. I wear them all day, every day for years and years and years. Never ever get stiff. Never get sore. They're super comfortable. And the sound, like the sound isolation on them is incredible. But more than anything else, what I was really blown away by, so I use a audio interface for headphones. And for anybody who's not an absolute nerd about sound, basically, that is when you want to use like a headphone jack for your headphones and you want them to be able to use more power than you can get by just plugging it into your computer. You have a separate interface that can like drive more electricity with your headphones, right? So this is measured in ohms. And I used to use a pair that was 80 ohms, which is, you can plug that straight into your computer. It doesn't make a particularly big difference. But when I got this new pair, I upgraded to the 250 ohm pair, which is obviously a much higher impedance. And the reason why you need an interface is because the more ohms you have, it's like you can have more detailing, but it also is quieter. So you need more electricity to like crank the volume and get them louder, right? To make up for that. I knew that it would probably be a little bit better. I was stunned. I was genuinely so shocked that the exact same pair of headphones, more or less, like the same model of headphones, could sound so much more detailed. It is insane. Like the panning is so much wider on everything. Instruments sound so real. They sound so live. Like, genuinely insane. So awesome. I was just like falling over backwards, like over and over in my bed, listening to music for hours. Like I cried, I laughed so much. I smiled forever. I was listening to everything, man. It was so awesome. I love music so much. I'm so happy. Not only to just have like a really comfortable pair of headphones again that works properly, you know, the wire isn't just like dying constantly, but also, like, the upgrade in sound quality was so sweet. I didn't know if I was ever going to relive that. Because this is an expensive pair of headphones. And, like, you know, obviously going from my, like, old gamer headset to, like, a pair of studio headphones for the first time. I remember the first thing I ever listened to on those headphones as well was Suisei's Stellar First Take performance right when it came out. I bawled my eyes out. That was, like, I had no idea music could sound that beautiful. It was life-changing experience. But I kind of thought after that, like, you know, it's pretty diminishing returns in sound improvement from once you're already paying a few $100s for a pair of headphones. And, you know, I didn't think that I would ever experience a jump like that again. Or if I did, it would cost me like at least like $1,000, $2,000, you know? So to think the whole time, if I just bought like the higher impedance pair, it could have been so much more. I was like mind blown by that. But yeah, anyway, audio nerd Twi finished rambling. Really happy about my new headphones. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I mentioned that I mixed a couple things, but I also recorded another project over the week. Big project for next year, or not next year, for later this year. I have a couple of big projects that I got to finish up working on for later this year, but I have a lot of music stuff planned for 2026 still. I'm really excited. You know, I feel like in the front half of the year, I didn't manage to plan a ton of stuff. So I'm glad to have a few more like kind of simpler projects for the rest of the year, but also some big ones to look forward to. And I hope you guys will look forward to them too. Not much an audio engineer. No one thinks they're too loud or too quiet. Yeah. I think that these headphones are, for the most part, really balanced from like a frequency standpoint. The only thing I noticed is that on certain mixes, like lower vocals get a little bit buried in the instrumental more than I remembered happening on the other pair, or on my like open back pair of headphones that I have that are also like a little bit less expensive. So it's a little interesting. I don't know if it's like perfectly balanced, but they're really, really good. I love these headphones. Also, I can hear fireworks. But I'm gonna look out my window, guys. I want to see if I can see the fireworks. Nope, I can't. I cannot see the fireworks out my window. Unlucky. Womp womp. It's okay. But yeah, it's been a really, really fun day, all things considered. Sharing everything. But yeah, it's been a great week. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to a bunch of my stories. I gotta see where along Ada is for this, because today Ada is running a Canada Day karaoke relay. Why'd I say it like that? Karaoke relay happening for Canada Day, which I would love to bring you guys along for. If you guys would like to experience, I think this is only on Twitch side, but you know, Ada Lira, my favorite Canadian VTuber friend. Okay, maybe not. I shouldn't say my favorite. I have lots of Canadian VTuber friends that I love, but Ada is very Canadian. Okay, she's so Canadian. My Canadian Oshi. So if you guys want to hear some great Canadian singers in the VTuber community, I'm about to go pass the raid down on Twitch. Or actually, I don't know that I'm gonna do that. Actually, I lied. But if you guys want to check it out, I'm gonna be a bit quieter about it, but you can check it out right now. The next person on that relay is Crystal Milk Tea. So if you want to check that out, feel free to go pop into there. I'm going to end for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening. And I will see you later. Bye-bye. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. And I'll be back, like, I don't know, tomorrow or in a couple days or something. I'll be back, okay? No more week and a half. No more week and a half of being gone.